Now you see the body language from Valdez.
Uppercut combination, and he scores the knockdown.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are back. AtR podcast. Live. Quick fight reaction to Oscar Valdez against Miguel Berchelt. We are live, ladies and gentlemen, man. We're going to get right into it. Gio Garcia here alongside Christian Mosqueda. And, of course, you guys hear a huge knockout in the background. What's up, Chris? What's up?
What's up, buddy? What's up, man? Let's get into it, man. This was the Mexican clash, and man, what a fight! What a fight, Gio.
Yeah, man.
I'm gonna start by saying, bro, man, we got gifted a fight that was pay-per-view worthy, and we got it for free on ESPN. So that is amazing in itself.
Yeah, 100%. Big shout out to the people in the live chat. And like you said, we got it for free. The only thing that really kind of bothered me, and it kind of sucked that there was no fans. Imagine there were fans. Right. This would have been insane. But nonetheless, I think the fight lived up to the hype. I don't think we expected this. I don't think we expected a knockout from Valdez, but it happened. I mean, he dominated throughout the fight. What can you say, man? What can you say? He just dominated. Big shout out to the Canelo team. Big shout out to Eddie Reynoso. Big shout out to that whole team. I mean, perfect fight for Oscar Valdez.
Yeah, all I can say is that Valdez made believers out of us. I think you gave him a little bit more credit, saying like if he's gonna go the distance in a losing fight. I honestly thought Berchelt was gonna knock him out in that almost the same round that Valdez knocked him out. So he made a believer out of me. I'm sure he made a believer out of you. We were expecting a toe-to-toe war. It was a power punching fight, but it was a very disciplined, calculated fight by Oscar Valdez. And man, I think you said it, dominant. It was a very, very all Valdez. Just I did not see Berchelt having too much success other than just using his power size to try to bully him in moments. But man, it was all Valdez, man. Shout out to, again, like you said, the Canelo team. They're on fire right now, man. And if you're rocking with Eddie, you're rocking with Canelo team, nothing but good things are gonna come your way. So all Valdez, man.
Yeah, so just to paint the picture, Valdez was the big underdog in this fight. I was surprised that our polls, most people were voting for Valdez, man. The upper 50% of the people were voting for Valdez. Most boxing, quote unquote, experts and analysts were going with Berchelt, right? Most people thought his size, his power were going to be too much for Valdez. Most people were saying that the Canelo team, Eddie Reynoso, hadn't made such a big difference, in the style of Oscar Valdez. And he proved everyone wrong, even his idols, as he stated. But just to kind of summarize the fight, the underdog, like I said, Valdez, and a lot of people were putting money for him in Vegas. They were stating throughout the broadcast, more people were putting money for the underdog, trying to make their money, and I'm sure they did. But he hurt Berchelt early. He knocked him down. Didn't seem like Berchelt recovered from that shot to the temple. He was on wobbly legs after that, and much respect to Berchelt, man. He went out like a warrior. A lot of people were saying they should have stopped the fight. I disagree. Yeah. Let him fight. These are two Mexican warriors. They're built different, but we do hope that Berchelt is okay. We hope Berchelt is okay, but it's different when two Mexicans fight, man. You got to let him go. And Berchelt was still in it, even though he was probably concussed. I believe he was still in the fight. He still landed some big punches. I think his biggest punch was a body punch to Valdez that made him kind of grimace a little bit there. But much credit to Valdez, like I said, and to Eddie Reynoso. They just had a better game plan. Berchelt looked a little drained to me, even after the weigh-ins. You saw him chugging the water bottle right after. Valdez looked a little more relaxed, making weight. Berchelt didn't look as muscular as normal. And, let's not forget, he did have COVID. He did test positive for COVID, and that's why they postponed the fight the first time. That was supposed to be in December, if I'm not mistaken. and he just didn't look like himself. But not to take credit away from Valdez, who looked tremendous in this fight. He just looked great, man. He boxed well, and it wasn't like defensive. He boxed with his jab, counter punching. That left hook was tremendous. I mean, what more can we say, man?
That's the one that did it. To me, shout out to Berchelt. I don't know how he survived that 4th round. I believe it was that round where he got raw dropped. You know that his legs were gone. He was like on like tripod legs, and he was
Shout
still
out to
there.
Amir Khan.
Yeah, and there was so much time left in that round. So much time. I didn't think he was gonna make it, and so just that the heart, that will to just stay in that fight, to like we said, that war mentality just kept him in that fight. You've just felt that Valdez was just one great shot away from just knocking him out in that round alone. But man, shout out to both of these guys for putting on a hell of a fight. Berchelt, I'm very surprised that like you said, we didn't see that come forward aggression as much as we're used to. And I agree, Gio. I think it's that drainage that, I think he's too big for that division now. I think it's time for him to move on to 135. I think this pandemic, this long layoff, I think his body has slightly changed. He barely made he made the weight at 130, but yeah, you saw that he rehydrated about 14, 15 pounds. That just shows you that his body is bigger, and I think he's got to move on to 135. But again, the thing to take away from Oscar Valdez, he fought an excellent fight. Again, we have to give props where it's due to Eddie Reynoso. It's not just Canelo, it's not just Ryan. He's showing that he is making improvements to each and every single one of his fighters, and kind of makes you. I don't want to go too off topic. Kind of makes you think Andy Ruiz might do the same.
Andy Ruiz is coming, baby.
So it's like whatever they're eating over there, whatever they're brewing, it's working, man. And yeah, we might have to take our services to the Canelo team. But man, good stuff on that team. The greatest victory for of his career for Oscar Valdez, and man, we'll see what else is there to come.
God, and I don't know who NM is.
Yeah, and we're not going to talk about that, gentlemen, today. But, just to recap all this stuff, I just believe Oscar really disrupted Berchelt's rhythm. He never seemed to get into rhythm. He had a few rounds. I gave him a couple rounds. I gave him 2-3 rounds, Berchelt, where he was coming forward, and it looked like he was hurting Valdez at times, pushing him back. But just a perfect fight for Valdez. It would have been interesting to see if he hadn't hurt Berchelt that early. And, that's one of the things that they were highlighting, Tim Bradley and Andre Ward, when they were breaking down the fight. Well, previous to the fight, when they were doing the preview, they were saying, Berchelt's defense isn't the best. He often, his right hand, he drops it. Perfect for that Valdez left hook. That's exactly what happened. It happened early in the fight. And like we said, he never truly recovered, it seemed like. But, respect to Berchelt, he always fought back. He's probably not going to remember some of those rounds. He looked out of it, but he kept fighting. From what I know, he's already out of the hospital. He was okay. So big shout out to him. If he's watching, he probably will be. But yeah, I mean, this fight just lived up to what we all thought it would be, man, a Mexican war. That's all I can say.
Yeah. Let's go to the knockout, Gio. I know it's February, but I put it on my story. I was like, I know it's early, but this could be knockout of the year, or it's gonna really.
Man, let me stop you right there, man. Let me stop you right there. Knockout of the year. Eddie Reynoso, trainer of the year. Right? I said it. I said last week, Chris. If Valdez can pull it off, he's trainer of the year already. I don't care what happens. Canelo can lose to the Turkish man, Yildirim. Next week, he can lose to him. Eddie Reynoso will still be the trainer of the year. I don't care what anybody says. I don't care what these experts say. They always get these fights wrong. Eddie Reynoso, trainer of the year. I don't care what happens from now on.
Yeah, everything else looks like it's in the pocket. I mean, Canelo, it looks like who's going to be Canelo? No one's going to be Canelo. At least I don't see it coming. But
unless he faces Oscar Valdez, he's not losing.
He's going to face Oscar and Ryan at the same time. And somehow they're all going to win. But Eddie is he's been doing it for years, and he's been getting the recognition maybe the past 2-3 years. But this this year is just everything's coming full circle for him. But yeah, definitely trainer of the year. This knockout, man, we haven't seen such an eye-catching knockout since.
Round of applause, man. A round of applause for that team.
So this one sets the standard for the rest of the year. Still 9 months left, but man, what a knockout!
Yeah,
And this again, this is Valdez's biggest win. We saw the 24/7, and these two guys were chasing greatness, man. They knew that a win over the other was gonna propel them to, closer to that legend Mexican status that everybody, that has Mexican blood dreams of achieving. The Barreras, the Morales, Chavez Sr., all those guys. And so, man, this gets Valdez closer to that.
Yeah,
we can't wait to see you. We know there were some other opponents in there at the center. Some Shakur.
Yeah, well, we're not gonna mention them. They don't deserve it. They don't deserve it. This is a big night in Mexican boxing. This is a big night for Valdez. Like you mentioned Barrera, you mentioned Morales. This was one of those nights, man. We'll talk about the rematch in a little bit, but I knew Berchelt was in trouble for two reasons. Oscar Valdez swimming with alligators, and then he came out to Cartel de Santa. Like, that's the most gangster shit you can do. Like, he showed us what type of energy he was on. He came out to see me event by Cartel de Santa. Check out their music if you don't know who they are. It's the most gangster shit you can walk out to, and he fought that way. He gave no fucks, and he went all out, man. But going back to Berchelt Valdez, do we want to see a rematch? We talk about Barrera Morales. There was talks about trilogies before coming into this fight. Can we see this fight one more time or even two more times?
I think so. I think Berchelt will have a better game plan. I think he's gonna be hungrier this time around. It's very tough now to put money against Valdez because, like we said, he's on another level right now. Like, I think confidence wise, team wise, health wise, we see that 24/7. Everything's on point. And we talked about, we always talk about how hard these guys work, but you showed it. We saw it here like last night. Valdez was in there with a very in shape Berchelt. If Berchelt isn't in that great shape, he doesn't get up or he doesn't withstand.
100%, yeah.
And so I think these are two guys that were in peak performance. Yes, Berchelt, a little bit bigger, maybe a little drained, but the conditioning was there. So I would like to see a rematch, and then if possible down the line, I think with fans, why not?
Yeah,
excellent. I think having no fans in a way kind of favored Valdez this time around because he didn't get caught up in a toe-to-toe action. If you saw the fight, it was a calculated power punching done by Valdez. He really used the ring and his feet a lot, not running but moving, lateral movement. We saw how he did that in it. We saw Berchelt lunging in and getting caught flush with that left hook and put him out. So yes, I would like to see a rematch. I would like to see it with fans. I think we would get even a better fight.
Yeah, and then just to piggyback off some of the stuff that you say, we got to highlight Berchelt, his conditioning. I mean, if it would have been anyone else, they would have been knocked out after the first or second knockdowns. He continued to fight on wobbly legs. It was insane. And same with Valdez. If he would have punched any other man that night other than Berchelt, they would have probably been knocked out the first couple times. But Berchelt fought like a warrior. I would love to see a rematch, honestly. I would like to see a rematch. I'd like to see a trilogy, man. Let's see if Valdez can get him again. Let's see if he can get him. If he gets him again 2-0, all right, it's a wrap.
Yeah,
but if Berchelt can do something to hurt Valdez early in the fight, if it happens, hopefully it does, man. I don't think there's any other better opponents for Valdez at the moment, unless he's going to fight a guy like Lomachenko, maybe, if he decides to go down. But I think there's no bigger fight right now for Valdez than Berchelt, even without Berchelt having that WBC belt, which I have. Yeah. I have one right here, but the difference between mine and Valdez is that his isn't signed by Sugar Shane Mosley. So
that's right.
Mine's a little more valuable. But I would love to see a rematch. I would like to see a trilogy. I think Berchelt can still beat him. I think this was just a perfect night for Valdez. And let's see if he can do it again, man. Much respect to him and the Canelo team, man. You can't say that enough. A lot of people didn't believe, And it was interesting because I was watching some comments on our YouTube channel this morning and last night. I was getting the emails, notifications when Manny Robles was on our podcast. And you know, there was a lot of talk about how his style was not going to change. Valdez style is not going to change no matter who he trains with. And I think we saw something special last night and something that a lot of people maybe didn't expect, but it was a historic night, I can say, man, for that WBC belt.
Yeah. I'll touch on 2 points that you brought in. Let's talk about Eddie. You know, what makes a trainer great is that he can bring in a fighter and not change his style, but tweak it a little bit. And I think that's what he did with Valdez. You know, of course, this fight was billed as a Mexican war. You're used to seeing toe-to-toe, but we know Canelo, he's changed that narrative. You don't have to be just a forward fighter. You could be, you know, a defensively sound fighter in moments and still be an offensive machine, and that's what Valdez was in this fight. And so I think, you know, applying that, it just shows there's a new wave of Mexican style. I like to call it Mexican style 2.0, where you use your brain and you use your gifts and you evolve with those gifts. And so this is what I've noticed from Valdez this fight around, and that's why he was able to be victorious, because he applied that 2.0 Mexican style. And so can't wait to see what's next, not just for Valdez, for Berchelt. I want to see what, you know, I've always said there's 2 things that make a fighter great: when they win these type of fights, these marquee fights, and how they bounce back from defeats like these. So I want to see what Berchelt has in the tank, if he can summon some moments of greatness to get back in the mix. But again, this is Valdez's time. This is his moment. All props go to him for winning this marquee fight.
100%. And I'm almost so disappointed in myself for not putting a picture of Eddie up on these graphics. Apologies to Eddie, man. I know you're watching. Disculpas, Eddie. Pero, you know, just one last thing that I'm going to touch on before I go to the comments section here. Derek has joined us over from the frozen East Coast. Shout out to them. You know, we're out here wearing shorts. You see Christian outside. And Brian was asking, why were you outside? Christian's in the middle of a picnic, guys. He's in the middle of a picnic, but, you know, he had to check in real quick. No, I'm joking. But one thing I did want to touch on real quick is the confidence that Eddie Reynoso has given his fighters, man. You look at a guy like Ryan Garcia, so confident against Luke Campbell. He looks so confident to want to face guys like Pacquiao and guys like Tank Davis. And Valdez was very confident before this fight, too. Obviously, Canelo's confident. I don't think there's much that you can do to break his confidence. But, man, just the way that his fighters are so confident in the ring before the fight. I mean, just that energy. We'll see how Andy Ruiz comes out in his comeback. But truly great by Eddie Reynoso to be able to get to his fighters mentally. You know, I mean, it's tremendous. And now, you know, if there was any doubts about Eddie Reynoso, you know, of course, people still had doubts with Ryan. Got that huge win. People are still doubting him. People doubted Oscar Valdez. Huge win now against Berchelt. I mean, probably the biggest fight for Eddie Reynoso, can you say? You know, besides maybe beating Golovkin, this is up there, man, against a bigger man in Berchelt, physically, the champion. 36 knockouts? How many knockouts did he have? 34, I believe, in 39 fights. I mean, he's a machine. And Valdez, you know, broke that machine. Broke him down, knocked him out.
That was that machine. That was the boogeyman. That was the guy that nobody wanted to fight. Too high risk. Not enough, you know, I guess you could say mainstream attention on Berchelt. So nobody wanted to fight this guy. And, man, nobody expected it, and not in this fashion.
Even Shakur, like, to cut you off. I'm gonna say not to cut you off because I am cutting you off. I don't know why people say that, but
to cut you.
yeah. But you know, Derek is talking about Shakur here, and Alexis saying I still believe Shakur is too slick for him and beats him. Even Shakur was there to scout Berchelt, right? He said he wanted Berchelt. He said he wanted Lomachenko. Now I'm pretty sure he'll be happy to face Valdez because he seems like a less dangerous opponent compared to Berchelt even after this win. But Yeah, just to mention that, and let me go to some of the comments here before we check out. We might be back Tuesday or Thursday to preview the Canelo fight and see what else pops up. And we're going to keep this one short. We're going to be up for about 3 more minutes or so, but I just want to read some of these comments. Shout out to B. Alexis saying, not even Valdez' biggest fans thought he would get a KO like this. Let's be honest. Yeah, I don't think so, man, the way that he dominated. Brian asking, didn't they say this is the last fight with no fans? I think that's accurate. Things are looking better now. The grass is getting greener, and a lot of fans will be back. Seemingly, you would think. Obviously, Texas, Florida, fans are back. Canelo's fighting in Florida. I don't know if it's Miami. Is it Miami or is it somewhere around there?
Yeah, I think so.
We'll clarify that in the next podcast. But yeah. Brian said, yeah, I agree. I don't think he was used to the weight. Yeah, he might be outgrowing that. Berchelt hadn't fought in 15 months. So, and then he had COVID. So, yeah, didn't look like Berchelt, but still credit to Eddie and Valdez, of course. So, Eddie, trainer of the year for sure. King Wright, Valdez, and Canelo. None better than that. 100%. Cartel de Santa Fire. Check them out. Derek saying, I swear I will never underestimate the man Oscar Valdez, SMH. 100%. You can't now, man. You can't. Will Berchelt move up? Shoot, man. That's a good question. More snow tomorrow, says Derek. Hey, man, have fun out there in the cold.
Great. I was going to say, to Berchelt's defense, he had a dope-ass song, too, to his ring entrance.
Yeah. I was surprised. I was expecting some hardcore Mexican music, but they came out to some hardcore hip-hop, which I'm not mad at. It set the tone, man. They both let us know what type of energy they were on. And, man.
I was talking with Brian and with Alexa, and they were like, got to change it up. Got to be a little different. We already know, y'all Mexican. So the hip-hop, trap, like, keep it original. That's dope.
Yeah, and then one last comment here by Mad Dog H. Great game plan by Reynoso, and props to Valdez for not going toe-to-toe with El Alacran. Man, and I think that was the big difference, Chris, the difference in the corners, man. My brother and I were just talking about Berchelt's corner. It was your typical Mexican uncle, right? That was just yelling, tira Lopez, tira el gancho, tírale, güey. And Valdez in his corner, the complete opposite with Eddie Reynoso, telling him step by step what to do, what not to do. He kept telling him to stay focused and not get careless. And like I said, he got to his fighter mentally. And I feel like that was one of the biggest differences in this fight. Yeah.
I think that was it. I really think not having an audience helped Valdez. I think once the audience comes back, I think the audience gets to Valdez, and this fight becomes more of a toe-to-toe. Exactly what Berchelt would have wanted. So I can't wait to see if there is a rematch. There should be a rematch. I think Berchelt is warranted one for the will and the heart, and being the former champ. I believe he did get more time because he was a champ. He was allowed to continue, whereas some other fighter would have nobody would have been mad at that ref stopped that fight. But again, we got treated to a great fight. Props to Oscar Valdez. He's in the driver's seat. Everybody wants to know who he's going to fight next. Eddie Reynoso, again, like you said, party right now in contention for fighter of the year. I know you joked about fighter of the decade, but shit, he's got a great stable of fighters in their primes that can still do a lot of damage. Somebody like Ryan still barely, coming up. Young gun. Still 10 years left in the game if he wants to. So, yeah, man, can't wait to see what's next for that squad.
Yeah, and then just to read some of the last comments here, man. The chat is lit. I did not hear this, but Mad Dog H is saying even El Alacran said, I think in the 9th round, ya valió burger.
Ya valió burger.
Did he say that? Yeah, B is saying he said that. They heard it too. I did not hear that, man. Damn, that's crazy.
I heard something, but I wasn't quite sure.
That's crazy. Yeah, I mean, he looked concussed, and he looked like his corner was just not giving him anything. I mean, I feel bad for Berchelt. I mean, every time he went to the corner, it looked like he was looking for something, some type of, I don't know, just someone that tells you to keep throwing is not gonna cut it at this level.
Yeah. I don't know. There wasn't no veneno in the Alacran. So,
yeah, no veneno on that alacran, man. That's fucking
a
crazy.
lot of heart and will, but there was no
Man.
stinger.
Yeah, man. I think this is good. I'm gonna go listen to some Cartel de Santa, feel gangster. I know what I'm playing when I'm going running next time.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna be hyped, son. I'm gonna be hyped.
Replacing that 7 Nation Army with some Cartel de Santa, huh?
Hell yeah, man. That's what I'm talking about. But yeah, that's it.
All right.
All right, Jesus. What's up? Where you at? Berchelt didn't look the same. No head movement, no cutting the ring, wide open punches, lunges at boxer wide open. Yeah, and that's how he got knocked out, man. He was lunging in even though he was hurt. Sorry, Jesus. You came kind of late, so I didn't catch all your comments. But we're gonna be back probably Thursday, right, Chris?
Yeah, that's true for Thursday.
Preview the Canelo fight. And that's that, man. We're gonna keep it short. Derek saying he'd love to see the Shakur fight. Yeah, and I think we'll leave it at that, man.
Yeah.
Jesus saying, read my comments.
There we go.
Man.
So Thursday, I mean, I know you started the meme section. If you guys have any memes,
Oh yeah,
send them
yeah.
over to Gio. We'll preview them. We had a good laugh last time around. So yeah, share those and yeah, man, can't wait to see you guys Thursday. Keep that chat lit.
Yeah, and like Chris said, just DM us on Instagram or email it to us againstdaropes@gmail. If you guys have any funny pictures or memes that you'd like for us to share on the next podcast, and I think that's it, man. Thank you guys for keeping it lit. Let me. You have any last shout outs, Chris, before we go?
I think we covered them all. Just thank you guys for tuning in, supporting a little channel, but we're growing, and we love boxing just as much as you guys, and so stay tuned. More things coming this 2021.
Yeah, man. If you're not subscribed yet, go ahead and subscribe, man. And that's it. We'll be back Thursday, ladies and gentlemen. Si me ven, holla. Shout out to Eddie Reynoso, Oscar Valdez. Let's go, mate. Now I'm gonna say it in Spanish now. I'm gonna say it in Spanish. Vamos, cabrón.
Vamos, cabrón.
We're still on. We're gonna leave you guys with this last audio there of Valdez.
Beautiful setup. Boom. Right on the chin.
Savage.
We're still on.
Night long. That was as big a knockout punch as you will see at this level of the sport.
What does it feel like to silence everyone who didn't believe in you?
If this doesn't give you chills right here, ladies and gentlemen.
And I said it before, there's nothing better in life than proving people wrong. I have a list of people who doubted me. My idols doubted me. Boxing analysis doubted me.
My idols doubted me.
Was gonna knock me out. But you know, I got a message out there to tell everybody. Don't let nobody tell you what you can and can't do. Always work hard. If you're disciplined in life and you try to do your best, you know, you stay disciplined, anything is possible. Don't let anybody tell you you can't do something. Always prove them wrong.
We all thought you had to fight the perfect fight, that you had to stay focused the entire time. How were you able to pull off this upset against the most feared puncher in 130 pounds?
Team, you know, it's a lot of teamwork.
Hola amigos, soy Juan Francisco Gallo. Quiero mandar un saludo para mis amigos de Contra las Cuerdas. Échenle muchas ganas, un abrazo, muchas bendiciones.
Shout out to Against the Ropes. You know what mine is? Let's box, bitches. It's almost fight night.
Shout out to Against the Ropes. Thank you for the support. Keep doing your thing. You're doing a great job. So thank you and best wishes.
Against the Ropes. Huge shout out to Against the Ropes. Against the Ropes.
Shout out to Against the Ropes. Thank you guys for the interview, and hope to see you guys soon.
Against the Ropes, always doing the right thing.
Shout out to Against the Ropes, man. I appreciate you guys for having me, taking the time out y'all day.
Against the Ropes, #1.
Freddie Roach.
Thank you very much.